Hi everyone, I'm 3 News Now Chief Meteorologist Mark Stitz. We wrap up Severe Weather Awareness Week today with the topic of flooding. And I first want to talk about just the strength of moving water so you understand it and can appreciate it if flooding occurs this spring. First off, we got some water in the studio. It's moving and a depth of about half of a foot. At that point, water can even knock me off of my feet and float me downstream. Notice though, a small vehicle might be still doing okay. But we're going to increase that water level to a foot. Again, I'm already gone, and at that point also the small vehicle can float away as well. So let's bring in a larger vehicle. Maybe you have a truck, large SUV. Here's that example for you. At 12 inches might be okay, but we're going to increase that water level once again, 18 to 24 inches, and even those larger vehicles can be floated away at that point. Now, of course, we have flooding here across both Nebraska and Iowa, a decent amount. And there's two types of it, both of which we see. The first one is river flooding, and as it says, that typically happens around creeks and rivers. Water will slowly rise over multiple hours, even a couple of days, but it also goes down very slowly as that water gets pumped out of the region. Now, we can typically forecast that in advance. Let's say maybe the ground is still frozen, just like what happened 5 years ago with the flooding. The rain came, the snow melted. We saw all that coming together. But flash flooding, a little bit harder to forecast. And again, we saw that a few years ago downtown Omaha in the old market when that thunderstorm with the really heavy rain just sat over that same spot. And basically the drainage system couldn't keep up with that much water. So the water will rise rapidly in those situations in as little as minutes. But as the thunderstorm leaves, the water goes down in the matter of minutes as well. Now, little to no warning with those, like I said, sometimes. But both of them can be very dangerous. And again, with the amount of what we see with both of those, it's best to be prepared. So the number one thing is to have a plan ready if flooding happens in your neighborhood, especially if you live along the Platte or the Elkhorn, where ice jam flooding is a little bit more frequent. So if you are told to evacuate by officials, you can leave immediately because, like we said, the water levels can change quickly. Now, let's say you're out and about driving around and flash flooding happens. Biggest rule there, turn around, don't drown. If you come across a flooded road, find a different route because, again, like we showed you, even your car can float away pretty quickly in some of those water depths. And if you're at home, if you have a creek or a stream in the backyard and it's flooded, keep the kids far away from those situations. There could be debris, broken glass in the water, and if your child accidentally falls into the creek, they can be very quickly floated down the river. So that's it for Severe Weather Awareness Week. Now it's time to deal with the severe weather. And of course, we'll be keeping you updated on all the storms that pass through our area over the next few months.